Huh? You talking to us?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Atif.
so like I said, those particular civilizers on the poor part of the planet Earth, these are the characteristics that are of them, and these are who these people are. Is given a
Okay.
description is given a description of these people here. The guy
Who
just
are they?
mentioned to you civilizes from another part of the planet. And I'm
But
saying
this
to
Okay.
what you
you
got to
that
remember.
there's other civilizers of the planet.
Okay, now I got a question. Was Musa 5%? Because he was definitely a civilizer.
Musa
Was
was
he 5%
he was
though?
clearly a 10% because he was teaching trick knowledge.
So we can't just go by civilizing then. We can't just go by civilizing. That's what I keep trying to say. That's the basics. That's
That's
the
one.
basics.
Genghis Khan would say he was a civilizer.
That's the basics. Civilizing is the basics.
Oh, and
Genghis
the
Khan
devil,
We're talking about the
was
knowledge of yourself,
the
righteousness,
devil, the
the
devil
science of
thought we were.
everything in life.
The devil thought we were savages in Africa, so he
Love,
brought
peace, and happiness.
civilization
Come
to
on,
us.
man.
Yeah.
Like that's what we
Again,
Yeah,
talking
no,
about.
that's
you,
We
you
peace.
ain't just
talk
talking about
you,
civilizing.
Yeah,
Civilizing
you
is the
talking about people
basics.
here. What you talking about is people here.
Exactly. And I'm still
Okay,
and it still
who,
applied. It still applied.
who,
Civilizing is the
who,
basics.
who else? Who else did what we did? What we're doing? Who else? We teaching
and
that
what
the
With
black man is
with
God.
I
no
mean,
books, no money, no.
I ain't no
This
listen.
We
motherfuckers.
Ain't
not
nobody,
Come on.
nobody,
charging the
no one,
people. Oh,
This
no one,
countries ain't last
no
long
one on
long
this.
as us,
On,
man.
look, I agree to the fact that what I'm saying ain't nobody here in America has taught that the black man is God like the teachings of
no, I'm
the
talking
nation
about
of God's
everywhere.
earth. I can
No. I'm not talking about America. I'm
hmm,
talking about all over the world. Who taught it like we taught it?
well,
Who went to the babies? Who went to the
I don't
young
know of any.
and taught them? Yeah. So I mean,
I don't know of anyone.
who are these? Who are these
I'm agree.
mystery 5%ers?
Agreeing. I'm agreeing with you with what I'm saying, but none of that is in the degree of the 16th degree. None of that as far as teaching the babies and none of that things that is in that
Yeah,
degree. I understand what you're
that's
saying,
why
and I agree with
that's why I
and I
said
agree with
go
and I
ahead.
agree with the fact
Go ahead.
that no one has really taught it that the black man is God like we have. But when I talk about what I'm saying a 5% according to the ground, I'm talking about those who just went against the teachers of the 10%, man. There were people always on this planet fighting against that devil, fighting for
And
us. You know what I'm
also they
saying?
said Jesus taught freedom, justice, and equality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Chun D. Chun D.
did
And
he teach that the black man was God?
I would say he did.
Look,
I would say
look,
he did.
Okay,
But he taught it the
where
way
did
that
you
he
see that?
taught it. But he didn't, but huh? Huh?
Where?
What was the
Well, I
question?
mean, most of his life is missing in the story, so we don't know that much about Jesus.
Yeah.
Most of his life is.
Yeah.
So yeah. So did he? All right. So listen, listen. I want to know these mystery 5%ers that we just giving these titles to.
yeah, you keep asking that, but like I said, it
You said
says
Muslim
who
and
are
Muslim son.
and they are. It says who are and they are. In
Yeah.
1934, who are they are. They
Who
existed.
means which? Who means which person?
Meaning they existed. Are physical. Are there. Are currently. Are. Not who
R
will
means
be.
currently.
Are means current. Are.
Yeah. So okay. So they doesn't apply to Elijah because you wouldn't say they. You would say we are.
For the first things first.
If Elijah
Jacob
calls
before
himself a
us.
Muslim,
Elijah's not a
if
5%er.
Elijah calls himself a Muslim, then he's including himself.
So okay. So is religion a part of the 10% teaching?
God. See, first of all,
Listen, a 5%er answers the question directly. Is religion a 10% teaching?
yes.
That okay, so listen. All that other listen.
I
He
disagree
was
with
a
that term.
spiritual
I mean, I
religious teacher.
disagree with that statement.
What?
That religion is a 10% teaching. I would say that the 10% utilizes religion. I would say that as a medium, you know what I'm saying, to do their dirty work. Because, you know, going back to the power of the greed, they use Jesus' name to share their dirty religion. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? See,
So
you know,
I want to ask you a question.
you know,
Who else use it? Who else use it? Who else use it? If the 10% use it, who else use it? Who else besides the 10%? Did 85% use it? Do the 5% use it?
85.
The
85% uses what? You talking about using
religion
the
every
dirty
day.
to share their dirty religion?
Yeah.
The 85 doesn't use religion, they believe in religion. The 10% uses religion. Those are two
that's
things.
that's yeah. You know, I can agree with that statement.
So the 10% is the only one that use it. The 10% is the only one that use it. And they use it by teaching it.
Yeah, but the reason why I said they use it because their agenda is to make slaves out of the poor people, those who do, you know, so the ignorant people, and those who don't have the necessary means to provide for themselves. So yeah, I would say that these are the individuals that use that religion because they hold it over their heads. You know what I'm saying? They tell them if you don't, you know, if you don't do this, you know, so you don't make it into heaven. If you don't pay,
and you can't say, but you can't say they don't teach it. You can't say they don't teach it when it says they teach the poor lies to believe that the true and living God is his food. That's religion.
Okay,
they teach religion.
Also the 85 wife is gonna teach that to her 85 kids.
But let's not get off of that.
She's still 85.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about he said that he don't think that the 10% teach religion. And I'm saying it's saying right in the degree.
The guy just said
no, I didn't say that they don't. I never
He just said
you disagree with God.
You said it wasn't their teaching. You said they use it. You said they use it. It is their teaching.
Okay.
So universal divine, G. So you know you doing the knowledge. What you know? Go ahead. What you hearing, G? How you see it?
Hey, yo, God, listen, right? It's layered, God. It's not just one specific thing. I think it's layered, right?
Oh yeah, indeed. Indeed.
You know, the government has systems in place that, like, you know,
y'all build. I gotta go ahead. Y'all build.
So, you know, I also feel like there's other said nations who are also 5%, right? As in the nation is a nation who have those amongst them who are 5%. Can I say specifically which individuals? No, but I'm sure amongst them there are those who are 5%.
So you're just taking it on face value?
No. I'm just
That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. You said I can't name them, but I believe it's somebody there.
I said there are those. I'm sure that there are those amongst them who are 5%.
God, the lessons tell us there's somebody there. The lessons tell us that there's people who don't believe in the teachings of the 10%, who are all wise and know who the true and living God is. It says right there.
And teach like, that the Almighty true and Lord God is the supreme being. I mean, the Son of Man, the supreme being, black man of Asia. They teach that.
It's a lot. It's a lot that go that far, but they don't carry it out.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm not. Listen,
the black man God, but they're not going to be the black man God teaching.
You have not heard me say that we are not unique. I can agree on the fact that we're unique, but I'm saying to you that we're not the first fighting this battle. That's all I'm saying. There's been 5%ers that have preceded us and that existed at the time when the lessons were written. If it wasn't, it wouldn't say R.
So I only heard the last part of what Atif said.
Yeah, I'm glad because I know you're gonna come in trying to bomb. You know, but
listen, I just
nah, letting you get it. That's why you was waiting for me to get on. I know you.
Oh
you
man.
do.
Hey, listen, check this out. All right, so check this out, man. I don't know if y'all built on it, but listen. The 5% do not believe in the teachings of the 10%. Religion is the teaching of the 10%. Whoever is religious, they are not the 5%. Elijah, was our righteous brother, but he was not the 5%. Because
he couldn't have been 5% talking about no spaceships.
Who is he praying to? Who are these Muslims praying to? Huh? Who are these Muslims praying to? So I'd be born when you was talk about in the degree it doesn't talk about teaching the young. When I said we went beyond the knowledge equality degree. You see, because Allah started with the young. He didn't start with the old people. He started with the young. A lot of those civilized people, they start with old people and then tell them towards the end of their life so they can't spread the shit. Allah started with the young. He started with the young. And that's why a whole bunch of those people that met Allah, some of them are here. They was able throughout the nation to guide the young people that was coming in the direction that it was supposed to go. You see, if Allah only built with the older people, who knows what this nation would be like.
I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, guy. Hold fast.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say that Elijah was a 10%. Because Elijah was saying, I'm gonna say Elijah was 10%. Because Elijah said,
man.
Listen, the Father wasn't going to allow
Elijah. No, our brother Elijah. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just joking. Go ahead, G.
I'm saying that the Father wasn't going to allow Elijah to 10% him. That's why he had to bounce.
Peace to the God.
I disagree. I disagree with that.
Peace to the God.
You will have to show him. You will have to show and prove how Elijah Muhammad was a 10%, because Elijah Muhammad taught the knowledge that the black man was God. Said it many times.
Did he say that every black man was God, or that he was God?
Absolutely. Absolutely, he did. And you can go and read it in any of his books.
Because how I got it was that Allah.
You can go and read it in any of his books.
How I got it was that Allah drew up that he was God and had to leave the temple because he drew that up.
Damn, no.
Well, no, the father left the temple for whatever reason. He left the temple. It wasn't because of he had disagreements with what was going on in the temple, and this is according to Abu Shahid. Him and Abu Shahid had, this is according to them. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't take him. Don't take him on face value. Don't take him on face value.
I don't take. I don't take nobody on face value. I don't take nobody on face value. You know what I'm saying? Because and at the same time, see, I understand all our brothers was going through a struggle. Morning was a true. All we have is what they given us. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm looking at that science, you know what I'm saying? It's like, when I'm looking at the history, I look at the history a lot. And when I look at the history, this is what the history it has provided. So, him coming out of the temple wasn't just because of those things. Some people say he left the temple because, they kicked him out. You know what I'm saying? Or some people say he left the temple because, him and one of the ex-brothers didn't get along. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. But then some people say he left the temple for other reasons too, which is, this is their account. This is their account. You know what I'm saying? But I choose, to utilize that account that makes sense. That he didn't wanted to get in between the squabble between Malcolm X and the minister because they both had love for both of those guys. So I choose to teach or to manifest that history, that account. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that the black man was God. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just say that Master Prophet Muhammad was God. He said Allah came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad. Now, how I draw that science up, I'm looking at the science of his father was the seed that spawned and gave him the idea to bring the knowledge over here to the wilderness of North America, to give it to the black man over here in the wilderness of North America. So this is how I draw that science up. You know what I'm saying? Allah coming into that person. You know what I'm saying? A person is someone that's fashioned and molded from those ideas. That's what makes that person that person. And he was that person, the Mahdi. That's what they call him. So I don't play with their history either. You know what I'm saying? I study it all because history is important because it's the root from which we all come from. We have to understand these roots. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't know the roots in which you come from, then you can't really defend who you are.
Let me ask you a question,
this
God.
If you don't know the science how it came about. You got to know it all.
God. Let me ask you a question, God. Was Elijah and them?
Yeah, my root is too. That's how we got it. But my root is also my educator too.
6 times a day.
Huh?
Was Elijah and them praying 6 times a day?
No, they didn't go to the 6 times a day prayer until after he died, and this was initiated by Minister Louis Farrakhan.
No, that was Worth Dean. That was Worth Dean.
So what, they was praying 5 times a day?
When Worth Dean came back, and then Farrakhan kicked him out.
Nah, see, they got rid of Worth Dean. Yeah, they had to get rid. Yeah, they had. Yeah, the family, the mothers, they gave it back to the minister. Well, this is the history of, from what I got, is that when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad passed away, before he passed away, he left the nation. He left Minister Louis Farrakhan as the national representative for the Nation of Islam. The parents disagreed with that decision that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad made. So they went to the Minister Louis Farrakhan and told Minister Louis Farrakhan that it should be his sons, which was Wafdeen Muhammad. Minister Louis Farrakhan agreed and stepped back and stepped down and allowed Wafdeen Muhammad to take that spot. Wafdeen Muhammad, he began then at the time changing the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And in the process, he changed the teaching. The followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad began to dwindle away. This is what caused the fall of the Nation of Islam at the time. And then he began to sell land and businesses and property and things of the nature to try to keep the Nation of Islam afloat. But they were losing everything that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had gained. So the mother, again, of Wafdeen Muhammad decided that he wasn't the right man, and that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was right for leaving the Minister Louis Farrakhan, and they went back to go get the Minister Louis Farrakhan and brought him back to the nation. Said to rebuild the nation back up. That's
Okay,
the history that I got.
Were they praying when Elijah was alive?
Elijah, yeah, absolutely. They were.
But not 5
So
times
you
a
said
day.
who they was praying to? Well, if you ask any Muslim, that knows the teachings of what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught them, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught them that when they pray, it was a form of meditation, and it was to get in tune with the God within themselves.
So
All
was
of the
they banging their
Muslims
head on the
in the
carpet?
Nation of Islam, not at that time, no. Not at that time, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad decreed that they wouldn't pray like that at that time, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad referred them to some history of the Prophet Muhammad of 1500 years ago. That during a time when some of the brothers was praying, that their enemy had snuck up on them. I can't remember exactly what it was, and cut their heads off while they were praying. So they didn't pray 5 times a day or bump their heads with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That was instituted later after he passed. So they had that one. I think they had like 1 or 2 prayers a day, and they would stand up and pray.
So they wasn't praying to WD Forum.
Yeah, it's it was that in that prayer they said that they give homage to the man that brought it to them, because he was without, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't have never got it. So they looked at him as
That's peace, God.
a lot in the person, because he was the best knower to them. You know what I mean? So
You don't see the
yeah.
you don't see the 10% in that shit, God. You don't see the 10% all over that shit, God.
Nah.
That's exactly what they do. Teach that the true and living God is a spook that no one can see with the physical eye. Look, he's seen him, but nobody else can see him. You'll never see. Nope. You're going to see the picture. Nope, you'll never see him. That nobody can see with the physical.
But where you get that from that nobody else saw him?
Like, I look at that shit, man, for real, man. Like, that's like white Jesus, man. Real talk. He's shielding his dirty religion, man. That man ain't give a fuck about no Islam. He wanted some bitches.
Look, I'm not going that far. All I'm saying is Allah left.
Pardon me. I don't want to offend nobody. Pardon me. I don't want to offend nobody. Pardon me.
No, I ain't worried about that. All I'm saying is Allah left the temple because he drew up that he was God. And
absolutely, I agree with you on that.
That wasn't in accordance to what Elijah and them was teaching at that time. So since he drew that up, he said, yo, I got the role.
Even if Elijah said, okay, you can teach it, but not here, that's 10%. That's 10%. Because here I teach something different. I teach that man is Allah.
Let me get into the comments, because I've been neglecting the comments for hella long. So let me get into the comments. So the last one I read was this is like listening to religion versus history battling. Ooh, I want to jump in. Almighty said W.F. Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. W.F. Muhammad said he'll be back on his 87th birthday. On his 87th birthday, that was when the father born our nation. Yeah. W.F. Muhammad and Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was always talking about the coming of Allah. W.F. Muhammad was born in 1874 or 1877. Child to man, man to God. Almighty W.F. Muhammad was born February 26, 1877. The father born our nation October 1st, 1964. So that is not right and exact, sir. God is the supreme being, black man of Asia. October 10th, 1964 is when the father born the nation, not earned it, born it. Not October 1st, for himself. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad was born on October 7th, 1897. Peace to the gods and earth. And I was born. Elijah got Malcolm hit. That's how. I see God in the building. Peace. This
the dudes are still carrying on that Jewish history.
Shaw Prince said, "This is getting funny now. Elijah is the 10%. We wouldn't even be on here talking about none of this if it wasn't 10% Elijah. Yeah, that doesn't mean he's not a 10%. We wouldn't be here for our parents, but that doesn't make them the 10. That doesn't make them the 5%. But no, he ain't no 10%. No, the father wasn't
the 10% conceal the truth, God.
Ask that brother, because he looked like he an NOI. Ask that brother if they was praying back then.
The father wasn't allowed to teach that. He too was Allah in the mosque, like WD4. Muhammad was called by Elijah. That and the fact that the babies wasn't being taught who they were while he left. No. Shaw Prince said this is wild. Hey, Shaw Prince, hold on. You should almost be off work. Two Bulls, Peace from Grand Rapids, Michigan, here to take notes. Listen, right now we a little controversial.
Told you. We told you. FBI always watching.
All right. So Elijah was dealing with praying. Now Elijah, right? There's the difference between knowing and understanding what you're teaching. Right? Allah understood. Elijah, he got a place in my heart, G. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody love Elijah, but he's the messenger.
Not everybody love him.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. Not everybody, because some people think he the 10%. You know what I'm saying? Some people think he was motherfucker. He was trying to motherfucker pimp the black man.
He was.
Listen, man. Listen, man.
I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off. Remember Rob Board came with that paperwork where they were talking about Elijah was getting money from that white supremacist dude. Remember that shit?
Uh-huh.
Come on, man. Look at the FOI right now. What is their business? Extortion and security, bro.
Hey,
extortion through security. Like these motherfuckers, like they using that shit to shield their dirty religion. Like they gang.
Is Farrakhan the 10%?
Do the knowledge though, God. You know what I'm saying? In this world that we live in, son. When it comes to doing business, God. When it comes to doing business, don't think that all the business that we're gonna do is just gonna be with black people. You know what I'm saying? These are the things I disagree with when you're trying to do something for your people and get ahead. You're gonna have to rub shoulders with some of these motherfuckers, man. You're gonna have to do that. Because we building, son.
Of course, you gotta do business with everybody when you do business. Of course.
Exactly,
I'm just talking about the kind of business that I know them to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like they do security and extortion.
What's the meaning of civilization? One having knowledge, wisdom,
business is business, God. Business is business.
Happiness. Oh, hold on.
Look, man, I ain't knocking their hustle. I'm just saying I see them.
Y'all, hold on right quick. What's the meaning of civilization? One having knowledge, wisdom,
One
understanding,
having
culture,
knowledge,
refinement,
wisdom,
and is
understanding,
not a
culture,
savage in the
refinement, not a
pursuit of
savage in the
happiness.
pursuit of happiness.
So all because you in business don't mean you're supposed to lose the knowledge of yourself.
God, wait. It's not just because he was doing business with those particular people. Those particular people ain't want us around, and he didn't want us to be around them. So I mean, I can listen. I can't say that's something I would do. But your favorite word, but I mean, that was his day and time. I mean, that's how he was.
Who you talking about? Me?
Listen,
who you talking about?
Like I said,
Ratif, who you talking to?
Who am I talking about?
Yeah, who you talking to?
I'm talking to you because you just gave the definition of a civilized person, and I'm
no, I
looking
gave
at
the
it.
definition of a civilized. What's the meaning of civilization? And I was saying that it doesn't matter. Well, civilization.
Yeah, civilization.
Civilization, but you saying it says as is one, so that's talking about an individual. So the individual I'm looking at you referring to is Elijah, because that's who we was just talking about. Because the guy brought up what Rob Bourne mentioned about him dealing with them white supremacists, and I'm saying in regard to that, maybe it's something that me and you wouldn't do, and we dealing in a different day and time. I'm saying if he had the people banging their head or praying to some mystery, that to me sounds like 10%. So if anybody disagree with that part,
I can't disagree. What I was saying when I brought it up is that we're not supposed to lose the knowledge of ourselves in the pursuit of happiness. That's what I was saying.
And there's no evidence that he lost the knowledge of himself in his dealings with those particular people. I don't see any evidence that he did.
I'm not saying he did. What I'm saying is that, the I Be Born brought something up, and I quoted that degree based on in the wilderness of North America, or in this devil civilization, right? That we got to do business a particular way. And I'm saying while you're doing that business, we're not supposed to lose the knowledge of ourselves. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Elijah did that.
Okay, then we all agree then, because we all agree that you need to remain civilized when you're doing business.
Peace.
In particular, the four of us understand that acutely, that you got to remain civilized when we're doing business.
Yeah.
Peace.
True indeed. So damn. Y'all just saying Elijah's a 10%, huh? Damn.
I would like to know what that NOI brother has to say. I would like to learn more about those day and times so that I can see if I'm correct or if I'm incorrect.
Well,
yeah. All I know is, man, I was taught to pray with my legs, man. You know what I'm saying? I was taught, you know what I'm saying, the best prayer, man, is, you know what I'm saying, is to do work. You know what I'm saying? Put in some work. You know what I'm saying? Because through your ways and actions, you're always asking for something anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's all about how you ask and who you ask. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it, man. I don't deal with no mystery or nothing like that. But I do keep up with the knowledge of what's going on and how things evolved and came to be what they are, man. I know that, you know what I'm saying, dealing with today's supreme mathematics, man, knowledge and your power, man. When one understands the knowledge of his power, he know that he has to have a foundation. He has to be rooted to something, you know what I'm saying? Because his power is going to express that root of that knowledge that he has, you know what I'm saying? And that root that he expressed, that's going to be his fruit. That fruit is going to be his equality, because that's what he got to give to the world. You know what I'm saying? And that fruit and that equality that I gave, son, is the power of my truth, man, which is the black man is God, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how I draw
Peace
it up.
to the God.
But I'm going to get off this
God.
joint, man. I'm going to get back in the chat, man. It was peace with y'all, brothers, man. Dealing with y'all, brothers, man. I'm going to add on with y'all, brothers, another time, man. Peace.
Peace to God.
Peace to the God.
Appreciate you coming on. Peace. Our big brother, Almighty True Divine, is in. He's been trying to get in for the longest. So peace.
Peace to the family. Hey, God, I wanted to say, man, you know, there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger. So how I see that is WF Muhammad, WF Muhammad said he will return on his 87th birthday. Elijah Muhammad was always talking about the coming of Allah. So my point is, just like the father, and just like Bob Marley said in 1963, the black man is God. Well, Bob Marley said, "Mighty God is a living man." But that don't mean for all of us to go smoking marijuana and give marijuana to our children now. So what I'm striving to say to you all is that the black man is God, the black woman is the earth. If you're trying to say the black woman is a Muslim, no, we not undercover Muslims neither. Yes, the lessons was written in 1934, but remember, they also said there's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger, and Muhammad ain't no God name. You can't be a messenger and Allah. You got to be one or the other. Again and again and again and again, WF Muhammad was talking about the coming of Allah. So Allah wasn't here yet. That's what I wanted to say when y'all was going through y'all cipher.
So Almighty,
yes,
dealing with the question on the title, is Yakub the father of the 10%? How you see that?
I never looked at it like that, but he's the father of the devil, and the devil existed before the year 8,900.